y'all, and welcome to the special Memorial Day weekend forecast. Hope everybody's doing well out there so far. And let's not forget what this weekend is all about. It's more than just a cookout, it's about those who have protected and served this great nation that we take for granted each and every day. So let's go ahead and take a moment of silence so that we never forget those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Alright, thank you for all those who have served. If there's any veterans out there watching, thank you for your service. As we can see here today, we're going to be dealing with some severe weather and even some winter weather up here in the northwest. Now, if you're watching at a future date, you can fast forward the video if you want to. Now, it's looking like today we're going to be dealing with even more severe weather amongst the central half of the country as an enhanced risk has been issued in parts of Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. Not like y'all have been dealing with enough here as of late. So it's looking like all hazards are going to be possible, which includes a 2% and a 5% chance for tornadoes within the slight and enhanced risk zones. Now, keep in mind, regardless of whichever color zone you are under for tornadoes today, make sure you're hyper weather aware and know where to go when that tornado warning gets issued, and make sure others are weather aware as well. Gotta keep those people that are not informed about the weather safe. As far as the damaging wind threat goes, that's the biggest threat to deal with today, as there's a 30% and a 15% hatched area centered over that enhanced risk zone over Nebraska, Iowa, and parts of Kansas. Now keep in mind, damaging winds can be as damaging as tornadoes, so make sure you keep that in mind as well. As far as large hail threat goes, we got a 15% hatched area within that slight and enhanced risk area. This also expands out all the way up into the northeast as well. As we move off into Friday, we got another threat for severe weather. That's a slight risk has been issued from Texas all the way up into parts of Wisconsin and Michigan. All hazards are going to be possible again tomorrow with a 2% chance for tornadoes and a 15% chance for damaging winds within that whole slight risk area, and a 15% hatched area for large hail over Texas, and just a regular 15 and 5% chance surrounding that. And then as we move off into Saturday, we got another enhanced risk issued over Oklahoma and Kansas with a slight risk course surrounding that. It's looking like we're not going to be getting away from the severe weather for quite a while, as this year has been very, very active. Now, we do not know what the main hazards will be just yet, but make sure you go follow my X and Facebook pages. I'll have links to those in the description down below, where I do daily weather updates. So again, go follow those. So we'll let y'all know what the risks will be when the Storm Protection Center issues those risks. And then we also have a day 4 risk on Sunday with a 30% chance over here in Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, with a 15% chance surrounding that. Now, this is on the Indy 500, so we'll be breaking that down here in a little bit. And again, we do not know what the main hazards will be just yet, so go follow my X and Facebook pages like I said earlier. We'll keep y'all updated. Now, other than severe weather, we do got some major flooding going on today, as a slight risk has been issued from Texas up into Tennessee, and marginal risk, of course, surrounding that. It also includes part of the north central part of the country as well. On Friday, there's another threat for flooding. Saturday, slight risk. Day 4 on Sunday, we got a marginal risk. This will probably be upgraded. And on day 5, we have a marginal risk up here in the northeast. Let's go take a look at how much rainfall y'all could be getting in on up into the 26th. Within the slight risk zones, I would expect right around 1 to 3 inches. Within the marginal risk zones, I would expect about 1 to 2 inches. So make sure the next 3 to 4 days that you are aware of this. If you live in a flood prone area, you see a flooded roadway, you turn around and you do not drown. So now that we know the risk for the severe weather for the next couple days, and we know that there's going to be some flooding going on, let's go ahead and get into the timing of when you could expect the worst for the severe weather for the next 4 days. Take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the HRRR model. And keep in mind that that date time's up here if you ever want to keep track. And we'll get into the winter weather here in a little bit. As we push this forward into the future, we can see nothing's really going on through the early afternoon hours, other than down here by Dallas. Could be coming in on some severe weather through the early afternoon into the late evening hours. If you live within the enhanced risk area, it's looking like this could be an overnight event, as a squall line's going to be rolling through by right around 11 o'clock, lasting all the way through right around 3 o'clock in the morning. Definitely make sure that you are hyper weather aware if you live within this zone tonight, as it's looking like nocturnal tornadoes are looking likely. And as we take a look at what kind of wind gusts y'all could be getting in on, it's looking like y'all could be getting in on right around 30 to possibly 50 mile an hour wind gusts tonight. This will cause power outages, so please be aware of that. Right around 30 to 60 mile an hour winds will cause power outages, so make sure you put up anything you don't want blowing around or damage from large hail, as the hail's another big threat to deal with today. It's looking like this will be a nocturnal event. Make sure you're hyper weather aware today if you live within any of these colored zones. And to take a look at Friday's timing for severe weather, we're going to lower the HRRR run down to the 12Z run. As we push this to Friday, we see that squall line that was rolling through the central part of the country today. It's looking like this could be a early afternoon into possibly late evening event. See, we're gonna have some multicellular storms. This is gonna be a low end tornado threat for tomorrow, but still significant tornadoes can happen on low end days, so please be aware of this. I wouldn't be surprised that they would up the risk zone down here in Arkansas and down here by Texas tomorrow, as it's looking like it's gonna be a multicellular event. We'll be dealing with some significant hail by right around 11 o'clock at nighttime. As we take a look at what kind of wind gusts y'all could be getting in on, and then we'll take a look at the significant tornadic parameters. As we take a look at the wind gusts for tomorrow, it's looking like up here by Illinois, could be dealing with upwards of 30 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts by right around 5 o'clock. So it's looking like an early afternoon into late evening event is going to be possible up here by Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, and Kentucky. But it's looking like down here in Arkansas could be a late evening into overnight event. I wouldn't be surprised if they up the risk zone down here in Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma and Louisiana area. We take a look at the significant tornadic parameters. This shows us where the most favorable ingredients for tornadic activity could be at. Now, I don't mean a tornado is going to happen within that whole zone. It just means that the conditions are favorable for tornadic activity. As we can see here at 1 o'clock in the morning, the tornadic parameters are at right around a 1.3 to almost a 2 out of 10 in some areas at right around 1 o'clock in the morning. As we rewind this to right around 9 o'clock, we can see the tornadic parameters ramp up even more. So again, make sure for the next couple days that you are hyper weather aware, as tornadoes are looking to be likely during the nighttime. So make sure you're hyper weather aware if you live within any of these color zones for the next couple days. Now, I would not be surprised on Friday that they would up the risk zone down here in Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana to possibly an enhanced risk. But regardless of whatever risk you are under, please, I can't stress this enough, please make sure you are hyper weather aware, as this year has been a crazy year for severe weather. Now, I did forget to mention the significant tornadic parameters for today here on Thursday, that y'all pretty much know it's going to be a nocturnal event. So we can see the tornadic parameters at right around 2 o'clock in the morning are going to be off the charts, right around 3.4 out of 10. And there will be some severe weather in the area as well. So definitely, I keep repeating myself, but make sure hyper weather aware. Know where to go when that tornado warning goes off. Don't be scared, but be prepared. And to take a look at Saturday and Sunday's timing for the worst of severe weather, we're going to have to take a look at the weather bell models. To take a look at the lightning flash density rate here on the Euro. Now keep in mind, like I said earlier, we do not know what the main hazards will be just yet. But stay tuned to my X and Facebook pages, as I will keep y'all informed on there to what the risks will be. As we fast forward this to Saturday, we already know the risk zone is going to be over here in Oklahoma and Kansas. And it's looking like this could be potentially a late evening into overnight event. Now keep in mind, the lightning flash density rate shows us where the most intense storms could fire up at. So definitely, again, late evening into overnight event for Saturday. And for Sunday, it's looking like this could be possibly an early afternoon into possibly a late evening event. Looks like the Indy 500 could possibly get rained out. As we take a look at the simulated radar for Saturday and Sunday, this is not a high resolution model, but it'll show us where the precipitation will be setting up at. Where Saturday is going to be a late evening into overnight event. We already know that. Here on Sunday, it's looking like the Indy 500 is going to be rained out. If you're heading out to that, could be coming in on some severe storms and some heavy rainfall. As we take a look at the surface cape, this shows us pretty much thunderstorm fuel is basically what this is. Cape is off the charts over here in northeastern Oklahoma on Friday. Then it really starts ramping up Friday evening. Really prime conditions for severe weather. And then here on Saturday, it's a powder keg environment, right around 5,000 joules per kilogram. That's very, very significant for severe weather development. And then on Sunday, that moves eastward towards Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri, Arkansas, where it's looking like this is going to be an early afternoon into possibly late evening event. But regardless, prime conditions are going to be in store for some severe weather for this weekend, unfortunately. So make sure for the next 4 days, you are hyper weather aware if you live within any of these colored zones through Sunday. So now that we know the timing and the risks for the severe weather, let's go ahead and take a look at the winter weather that's going to be going on up here in the Northwest. Let's go ahead and take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer to take a look at the winter weather aspect of things up here in the Northwest. Most of these winter storm warnings expire through this evening. You can see most intense snow bands are going to start to taper off through tonight. Now I would expect upwards of right around an additional inch to 2, with probably some areas seeing upwards of 6 inches. So that's definitely good for the ski resorts. If you have any near you, go out and enjoy those. Crazy, we're still dealing with some winter weather in May. We're almost into June actually, and we're still dealing with winter weather. So definitely be careful if you're heading out on the roads, and go enjoy the ski resorts if you have any near you. So now let's go ahead and get into what we could expect for the next couple weeks as we head into June. Now, to take a look at what we could expect for the next couple weeks as we head into June, we're going to take a look at the GFS model to take a look at the simulated radar. Now, we already know that we got some winter weather going on up in the Northwest, and we already got some severe weather for the next 4 days. It seems like it never wants to end this year, and it's looking like 8500 is going to be a washout, as well as here on Memorial Day as well. So make your plans accordingly, heading out to those cookouts, and don't forget the reason why we celebrate Memorial Day weekend. And it's also looking like the central and western part of the country is going to be dry. But regardless of where you live, get out and celebrate Memorial Day, because without those who have served and protected our great nation, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have nowadays that we take for granted. And it's looking like after Memorial Day, it's going to start to dry out a little bit amongst much of the country, except for up in the Northeast and the Northwest, and a little bit of Wisconsin and Illinois as well. But it's looking like we're going to come into this soggy pattern yet again as we head into June with some potential severe weather again down here in Texas. I say potential because this is over 170 hours out. Anything can and will change. And it's looking like we're going to be heading back into this soggy pattern yet again as we head into June. As we take a look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, we can see that much of the western half and the eastern half of the country is going to be below average, except for the south central and northeast, and down here by Hawaii and up by Alaska. As we take a look at this 8 to 14 day outlook, this is valid all the way through the 5th, we can see that much of the country is going to be heading into this above average and near normal pattern, except for down here by Florida and out west. So it's looking like the short term is going to be drying out, but the long term we're going to be coming back into this stormy and wet pattern yet again. So now that we know what kind of precipitation we're going to be coming in on as we head into June, let's go and take a look at what kind of temperatures we could expect. Now, we know today it's going to be pretty hot amongst most of the country, except for up here in the Northwest, where we're going to be coming in on some snowfall. Now, we're going to stay in this pattern for quite some time. Some warmer air is going to stretch up here towards the northwest, and some colder air is going to stretch its way further towards the south and east. Unseasonably cold air is going to be expected by the 30th. Some 20-degree temperatures is going to be expected over here by Michigan and New York. Unseasonably cold air is going to be expected for y'all, unfortunately, for quite some time. But don't worry, though. It's looking like some warm air is set to make a comeback as we head into June. And as we take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center, they're saying that much of the eastern half of the country is going to be below average, while the rest of the country is going to be sort of heading into this above average pattern. Over here in northwestern Washington, y'all are going to be a little bit below average. Next 8 to 14 days, it's looking like much of the western half of the country is going to be above average, while the eastern half of the country is going to be a little bit below average. So it's looking like unseasonably cold temperatures are going to be making a comeback, unfortunately. But this could suppress some severe weather, so that's going to be some good news. Now, if you stayed this far in the video, I'd like to thank you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hurricane forecast. You can see that there is a 10% chance down here in the Caribbean of the Atlantic. Not a big chance, but chance nonetheless. Take a look at the Eastern Pacific, not much going on there. Take a look at the Central Pacific, not much going on there either. Now, hurricane season is right around the corner. Starts on June 1st. I do have a hurricane outlook video up, so make sure you go check that out. Links in the description down below, as it's looking like this hurricane season could be a big one. Make sure you are prepared for that, y'all. So if you like today's forecast, make sure you hit that like and share button so more folks are informed about the weather. Leave me some feedback in the comment section down below the video, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. And also, don't forget to subscribe with bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because here in Everyone's Weather, we try to make weather forecasting fun and informative. And make sure to have fun on this Memorial Day weekend. I know it's going to be a pretty soggy and stormy one, but regardless, get out there and celebrate, as it means more than just the cookouts, more about celebrating those who made the ultimate sacrifice to give us the freedoms that we take for granted each and every day. So again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all for watching, and until next time, never stop forecasting.